Good day. This is Ask Amy About Aging, and I'm Aging Maven Aficionado Amy K. Gaskin. And today I'm joined once again with Deborah Shouse. Welcome, Deborah. How are you today?
I am great, Amy, and I'm very excited to be talking to you about nourishment and food and cooking together.
That's the plan. So why don't you tell everyone who is not familiar with you a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Well, a couple of things. I have been a care partner advocate for many years, particularly in the field of dementia. And I have been a care partner, and I have been a person who loves to cook with people and really feels a wonderful connection at being in the kitchen and understands how important that is for a lot of people. I am also the author of a debut novel called An Old Woman Walks into a Bar. And in my book, my main character has a fabulous friend who loves to cook. And that offers my main character, Grace, a lot of solace and comfort. Her friends bring her over food a lot. So I love it when somebody brings me over food, and my brother brings me over food. So I'm very lucky.
Yes. So I do have our behind that. So you have all your books are available on DeborahShouseWrites.com and on Amazon too, right?
That's correct.
Yes. All right. So today we're going to talk about cooking with connections, and I do have your book. I'm still reading it. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So let's jump right in.
We will. This is something I first explored when my mom was living with dementia, and she could no longer prepare our Thanksgiving dinner, which is something she loved to do. And I had a big moment of pouting and sadness. And then I thought, okay, well, just because she can't prepare the whole meal doesn't mean she can't be a big part of it.
Right.
So one of the things I learned from that is all the different things you can do without having to stand up and be in the kitchen a long time, without having to be near really sharp knives or flames if you're not in the mood for it, and how you can still, have that same wonderful feeling of contributing and being purposeful for a family meal. And for me, that's a big part of it. I mean, food is such a great connector, and being part of creating a dish, a meal, a dessert for another person is very purposeful. And I think that's what happens sometimes when you have a chronic illness. You don't get to do, your purpose changes. And so to be included is really important.
Right. I find that cooking is one of the ways you can serve others and do things for others. And if one of your love languages is serving, you like to do things for people, which cooking is one of them. So I know that when my grandchildren were living with me, it was very important for me to include them when I was cooking dinner. So you always, cooking is more fun in a group, and cooking is more fun. You can do anything. There could be a task for anybody, any age, whether you have dementia and you're 90 or whether you're 4 or 5 and want to contribute.
I love what you just said. And I think that is a really fun way for a care partner to be thinking how to include my person who may or may not love to cook, but may want to hang around and have a task and something purposeful to do. So I think one of the things you just said is important to ask yourself, like, what would this person enjoy doing in the kitchen or with food? Would they like to feel in charge of a meal? Would they like to be a sous chef? Would they like to be sitting down and chatting while other people are sitting and chatting? And we even had a friend who couldn't manage cooking, but who had been a fabulous cook, and she brought a recipe and we cooked it.
There you
so
go.
That was another way to contribute, even stirring. And so some of the things we've explored, and that care partners can really use their imagination depending on, what their favorite family recipes are, what their person would find meaning is. And it could be the simplest thing, from decorating holiday cookies to creating a fruit salad. I think just the act of sitting around several times with people. We have a little kitchen. And so we have done cooking activities, preparations outside of the kitchen.
Yeah, we do that too.
You do that too. Okay, great. So And as we're talking, I know people are going to be coming up with their own ideas as to how this
Mhm.
would work for them. So we have sat at our dining room table with cutting boards and friendly knives. I myself am not allowed to use a big knife because I'm too exuberant. So, and we've chopped fruit for a salad. We've snapped green beans. So many tactile things you can do when you're preparing. We've made lemonade together, and
Mhm.
we've done this outside of the bustle and the heat and the noise of the kitchen.
Right.
So for people who like a calmer atmosphere, this is a lovely way to do things. And you can talk about reminiscences while this is going on if you like to do that.
The
You can,
smells of the kitchen when cooking is another great topic because it brings back memories. And so sometimes I find if a senior's cooking, they'll start telling memories of the past because the
yes,
smell reminds them of something and it just stimulates something in their mind.
I love that, bringing that up. And that's makes me think of like baking bread, how people can really help knead the bread and shape the bread and play in the flour and do all those things. And I think it's an equalizer. So
Hmm.
I think sometimes when you need extra help, um, you feel one down a little bit sometimes. But when you're
Yeah.
preparing something in a group, you're just a part of the team. And
Right.
I love that feeling. I don't like to be in charge in the kitchen. I don't feel confident, but I feel fabulous when I'm helping.
And you can
When
contribute.
I can contribute.
Yeah, and then sitting around the table and talking, I find when the grandkids or even participated in making a meal, they're going to eat it, and B, they're proud of it, and they're excited to see everyone eating what they did. So whether it's a child, whether it's an adult, no matter who you are, you feel proud when you cook.
Yes.
It's an accomplishment. It's something that you do for others, and I think it's great when you can help somebody get back their meaning by letting them contribute.
Yes. I had a friend who did something very lovely. His wife had been a fabulous cook and she couldn't manage it anymore. So they sat together and they created fancy sandwiches for
Mhm.
tea. And
Nice.
they invited a neighbor over who had been bringing them food. And
Mhm.
so it was just a wonderful way to, they were spreading things on the bread. They had a little assembly line.
Yeah.
There was no stress involved, and yet it was elegant and
Mhm.
delicious and a great way to give back to somebody.
Right. It doesn't have to be complicated. Some of the best foods out there are very simple. You
Yes,
mentioned making lemonade. Again, it's something simple. It's not something fancy or elaborate, but it's something people enjoy. And lemonade is something that actually brings up childhood memories too. So I know that like when my grandmother was still around, we used to drink tea together. And so every time I drink tea, I think of her. I always drink tea in my cup here, my Oma Amy mom cup.
oh, I love that cup.
Yeah, so it goes Oma across and then Oma up and down, and then same thing with mom and Amy. So this is my Oma Mama Amy cup. Oma is German for grandma.
Yes.
So my Grammy and I used to drink tea, and I recently found a lemon tea, which that brings back memories too. So this is a lemon loaf tea I'm drinking, and that brings back memories. Food and beverages, they help you connect with your past, and they also can help you um, share with future generations as well. I like to, when I have tea with my granddaughter, I made tea parties with her, and I used to tell her about my grandmother.
I
Um, yeah,
That's really beautiful. And the other part of it is the care partner doesn't feel isolated because
right.
sometimes you're alone in the kitchen and maybe you're not in the mood to particularly cook a meal, but if you have your person with you, even if they're just sitting and chopping or sitting and chatting or you're reminiscing about things, I think that makes a big difference too.
Makes the time go by. You're also not worried about what are they doing. I talk to so many caregivers. They're like, okay, so my loved one fell asleep on the couch. Now I have to go prepare food real quick while they're asleep. Then I don't have to worry about them and that kind of a deal. And so when you have them join you, it's the same thing. I noticed that when I first got into senior living and I was touring senior living communities, I would notice that sometimes the seniors would be sitting and there would be activities where they were cooking something simple. But the other thing they were doing was putting together matching socks or folding napkins. And I'm like, oh, geez, I'm putting everyone to work. But the thing is, you touched on it at the beginning. You want to feel useful. And if you were a homemaker your whole life and your day-to-day life was laundry, that's actually a repetitive thing, folding laundry, folding the napkins, matching socks together. Those are things that you've done all your life, and it's actually calming. And so I didn't realize it. So the simple tasks that people do, sometimes caregivers forget that, hey, you can fold laundry with your person, even if you have to redo it after, who cares? But,
That's right.
Cooking is important. And that's one of the tasks that you have a reward after, unlike folding laundry. Because
that's right.
Folding laundry, the reward is it's not in a pile and you don't feel guilty, but
that's true. Yeah.
And it's put away. But when you cook together, you're making something that you can eat together after. And then that makes another memory, especially.
Yes. Beautiful, Amy. Yes.
So, I really like that. So what is your favorite thing to cook?
Well, one of my favorite things to cook is a stir fry, but I'm also thinking of something I love to cook with my granddaughter, and she has Down syndrome. So she is a little bit slow developmentally, but we have a system. We like to make smoothies together. And that's a really fun thing to make with people because people get choices about what you put in there. So we have a lot of frozen vegetables, fruits. we're making not so green smoothies, but we do put spinach in. So she gets to pour everything in, and then she gets to pick, are we going to have cherries or strawberries or a combination? And we mix a lot of things together. And then we each have a special spoon we use to taste to see how is everything taste. And then we share it with other people. So that is a fun and super healthy thing.
You can make peanut butter in your smoothies yet?
No.
Yes. A peanut butter banana smoothie is really good. It adds protein to it adds protein to smoothies. There's a lot of cool smoothie recipes that you might not have tried. Exploring new recipes is fun, and sometimes they don't taste, they're not always going to be your favorite, but if you happen to like peanut butter, I find it goes with certain certain fruits and stuff. Some people will put strawberries in there, strawberry and peanut butter, because again, strawberry jam. Just think about it eating it as a peanut butter sandwich. Yeah. So that's another one. But I happen to like peanut butter and bananas. Oh, I also like to make peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Oh,
so
that's a great thing to be making.
Yeah, but sometimes if you peel the banana and then slice it in half, so it's vertically, so it's long, and then you have two halves, and then put peanut butter on it and raisins or cran raisins.
Lovely.
So that's fun too, because that's again the tactile of putting it on. Then you can close it up if you want, or you can eat it open faced. Some people will put it on bread after that, but I don't happen to like bananas and bread for some reason, but some people will do that. But we make that. So also celery with peanut butter on it, again, with the little cran raisins or regular raisins. That's another fun one to make that's simple that you and your granddaughter might enjoy.
Oh, yes. So I think one of the things I'm getting from this, and I think probably anybody listening, is the ceiling is the limit here. You can think of so many different things to combine together for healthy snacks. And I mean, that's another thing. We all want to try to eat healthily, and we sometimes don't want to spend a lot of time to do it. And some of the things that you and I are just mentioning are really quick.
Yes.
They're quick. You can have things frozen, so you don't have to, have too much fresh that you're worried you're not going to use. And you can do it together, and you can share it with friends. Ideal.
Absolutely. I enjoy that. So I always like looking on Facebook. I find there's some really good recipes on there that are good for making with others, whether it's another senior that you're in or a grandchild. Cooking becomes connection, and connecting with people makes life more enjoyable.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, thanks again for coming on. Today we're talking about cooking with connection, and I look forward to having you on my show again.
Me too, Amy. Thank you so much. Now I'm hungry. I'm going to go have to find something easy and healthy to eat. And I'm going to ask my partner, Ron, to help me.
There you go. There you go. Again, this is Aging Maven Aficionado, Amy K. Gaskin, and I'm joined today with Deborah Shouse. And thanks again. This has been Cooking with Connection on Ask Amy About Aging.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.